Morning all. In round 8 I had quite an interesting quick win against Andrew Ponting, who's currently ECF 176, but his FIDE rating is quite low actually. It's about 1850 or something. But going on his ECF, I think he's quite a good, very good ECF rating at least, and a lot of people don't seem to play that many FIDE rated games anyway. He was on 3.5, I was on 3, so he's doing quite well in the tournament, round 8. I really needed a win. I want to try and just end up on a respectable score, so it's helped. If I win today, I'll be on 5 out of 9, finishing on 5 out of 9 at least, score-wise, even though I'll be losing a few FIDE rating points. But the ECF calculations are kept separate from the FIDE, so hopefully don't damage my ECF rating that much, if at all. So if I can win today. Okay, so let's have a look. E4. I played E4 actually. Now one of the reasons for this is to keep things mixed up, to play a variety of things as white, so that in future tournaments I'll be very difficult to prepare for, because I would have played everything. So Sicilian defense. And I tried for the Smith-Morra Gambit just for fun, but black plays, I think, the most common move, which is now being played against this, which is it becomes a C3 Sicilian transposition. So E5, knight D5, right? So the knight's being provocative, like an Alekine defense. Now knight F3. So I'm just supporting my E pawn. The pawn can't be taken now because of queen takes d5. So standard, theoretical position. d6, bishop c4. Now he plays knight b6. So it's an Alekine defense knight maneuver, which is played quite a lot against the Morra-Smith. That transposition I think is quite common from Morra-Smith to c3 Sicilian. So knight c6 though. Now maybe theory is something like d5 or e6. I'm not sure about this knight c6. But however, I'm not sure my next move is that theoretically sound either. I try and punish the exclusion of e6 from black by playing the move e6 myself. And it's not really that convincing if black played accurately. I took, okay, pawn takes, and one of the ideas I had was that after c takes, if he plays g6, I was interested in playing maybe h4, but it appears to be a bit too slow, this plan. Let's have a quick look, adding a Qbitsa here. I think black's perfectly fine and actually better. So g6, I don't think h4 works particularly well. This sort of plan, knight d5, say. So I take the rook. Black can play queen b6 now. White really hasn't got too much here, and if this happens, then it starts to be unpleasant if black castles queenside. Black's actually a lot better, so I'm glad that didn't happen, because d4 is also really under fire. So probably this is an unsound continuation. Let's have a look. What is the best play here after this pawn sack? Maybe not even c takes d4 here. Rivka's giving, I think Rivka's giving castles straight off the bat. Okay, and then knight takes d4. So say queen d7, now rook e1. So immediately eyeing that e6 pawn. This is quite a bit different. So maybe here, but if black castles kingside, right, there's no knight target for an exchange sack here to undermine d4. So maybe this is just about playable, but I'm not really sure. Black ends up better again, even in this scenario, played with Ribka 4 as white, which interestingly is not playing c takes d4. Okay, so I don't think I make any claim of this game being theoretically correct at this stage. Especially with c takes d4, it's it's better for black. But he plays, I think, a very bad plan. He plays e5 with the idea, well, with a very tactical idea, which doesn't quite work out. So after d5, he's actually giving back the pawn now with knight d4, because he has in mind a nifty queen maneuver, seemingly nifty queen maneuver to attack my queen, which will end up on d4. I don't mind this though, because I realise that in this position I don't need to routinely castle. So queen c8, if I routinely castle, then that's the big problem. Queen c4, and black's doing fine, because or, you know, forcibly picking up the pawn, unless I mean, if I sack the pawn, doesn't look that good. But I allow queen c4 to happen. I just protect the pawn with knight c3, and after queen c4 I just play bishop e3. And look at black's position. These pieces are locked in at the moment. This one from this and this from diagonal. It doesn't really want to take on d4. So I've got the advantage now. Okay. So he plays rook c8, and let's turn the engine off there. A bit distracting. And okay, now if I castle, that wouldn't be too hot, I think, because queen takes a2, justifying these guys. Maybe even knight a4 next. That would be horrendous. No, I play a good move, I think, a4. So a5, this is a target, this is a target. Now this isn't a very good position for black now. Maybe best he should just take, and then rook g8, g5, bishop g7, try and unravel like that slowly. But this was a disaster now. After queen a6, okay, there's an idea of rook c4, but you know, black hasn't developed the pieces. So I punish this with knight b5, and it's nearly all over now, because if rook c4, if I give you 10 seconds here, can you spot what I would have played here if he had played rook c4? So starting from now. Okay, I hope you spotted this queen and king problem. Queen takes c4, and that'll be winning the exchange. There's a simple continuation. Rybka's giving other funny moves as well, actually, but that's the simple continuation. He played actually knight d7, and I just thought, oh, I'll just castle and get rid of black's active rook. So castle, he plays b6. I play just simply rook fc1, big threats. He takes, and now, you know, he's looking at his position, staring in it, and just resigns. It is a total disaster. I mean, let's spell it out with a concrete example of what could have happened. Let's put engine on, say queen b7 as an example. So rook infiltration. Now here queen g4 is strong, one of the strongest moves. So knight f6, say, then check, just picking up the queen. Because if king f7, well, that's queen e6, and then pick up the queen. So that's one disaster scenario. The queen's got access to g4 in that sensitive diagonal. I mean, it's just black's playing without his pieces here. So in this situation, this was getting critical. So I think a4. Oh, it's not actually mentioned by Rybka. a4. Funny enough, a3 is given. a4 is not given as too much, maybe because of queen takes d4 from a theoretical angle. So if you could just exchange queens and play rook c4, that would be much better than the game as well. So I think maybe I was a bit lucky here, but still a small advantage for white in this continuation. Right, let's go back earlier and just review the game. Actually, this is a quick summary review. So my usual playing blitz actually is taking, and if we reach this position, black actually ends up often better in this continuation. I don't seems to be losing a lot of games from this position. and I wanted to avoid it. Black's already theoretically much better. If d5, okay, this looks a bit scary, but here bishop g6 is king f8. If bishop g5, black almost even just play e5. Look at this center control in this line. Or maybe this is a bit risky. Hang on. Well, if bishop f6 instead of like a technical move like c4, then in this kind of position, black's better. The center's really good. Black can sort out the king safety a little bit. Ends up better. So that whole line, which I've been playing so frequently in blitz, I don't think is particularly good with queen takes d4. It's got an artificial feel to it, moving the queen several times, and black, you know, with the undermining move later, is really getting a lion's share of the center in this continuation. So I think I need to abandon this in blitz games, and I'm glad I didn't play this line in the long game, because I wasn't really that convinced by it in blitz. So so this idea of just playing c3 as though it's a c3 Sicilian now seemed to pay off in this game. But here, okay, Rybka's giving the theoretical continuation is not e6, it's just maybe e takes d6. So say, okay, there's e6 or queen d6. Let's say queen d6. So here, a few choices. Knight d4 is actually maybe stronger than cd4. So if we reach this position, white could have a small advantage, maybe, like here. There's no major issues, I think. No, it's a nebulous advantage though. It's 0.11 nebulous. So although what I played is unsound, from a human point of view, it sets some interesting problems. Okay, so he's a pawn up, and that central pawn mass can be used with great effect if black plays accurately. But maybe in unfamiliar territory, you know, improvisation crept in here. So this improvised plan of e5 just turned out to give me, you know, not just the pawn back, but a clear advantage. But intuitively, black's pieces are locked in, so he has to try and evict the queen. So this queen eviction plan didn't really work that well because of bishop e3. I don't think he realised I didn't have to castle, so that's the key issue. If I don't castle, I can support the queen, but the bishop is also, you know, good on that diagonal, and this knight's a liability after a4, at least intuitively. But in theory, you know, I think black can just take here and minimise white's advantage. But this next move was really totally disastrous. It meant I'm connecting my rooks basically after this tactical move, knight b5, just interfering with that diagonal. So I can just castle, and black's lagging development is really a total disaster. So after castles, b6, exchange of rooks, he resigns just here. Okay, hope there's something instructive in that. Comments or questions on YouTube. Thanks very much.